Hey, psst. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Come here a sec. Don't worry. I don't bite. At least not on the first date.
Hey now, no need to get the cops involved. I'm not a shady person. If anything, you're the weird one. Coming to my castle just to get your fix. How dubious. Anyway,
As promised, here's the good stuff. As usual, it's mostly original and pure. Knock yourself out. Literally.
Ranger Reject. Have you ever read the manga and felt this will definitely be an anime? Like, I don't have a single doubt that this will get an anime. Hell, I think it'll be better as an anime rather than a manga. Just because there's a lot of text that'll be better in anime format. There's an unending battle in this world between the villain's army of evil and the Power Rangers. Well, technically they call the Dragon Rangers, but who are they kidding? We all know they're the Power Rangers. 13 years ago, a giant castle suddenly appeared in the sky. The villains owning the castle declared that they will be taking over Earth. Thus began a battle that lasted 13 years. Or at least that's what the public are told. In fact, the battle ended 12 years ago, when the Rangers annihilated all the villain executives, but left the foot soldiers alive in exchange for them to pretend to battle the Rangers every week or so. The Rangers get the fame and money, and the mobs get to keep their lives. It's a win-win. Well, Foot Soldier D doesn't think so. He doesn't want to spend the rest of his days acting in somebody's play. He still has his villain pride and his will to take over the planet. So after tasting defeat one last time, he sets out to destroy the Rangers by infiltrating their organization using his disguising ability.
Worry not, my brother, for I am a master of disguises.
Which is most definitely a crazy plan. But then again, how long can you live under someone's thumb before you completely lose it? This one is funny and quite intense. There are a lot of moments that will make you clench your buttocks, and all of that is complemented by an art style that makes it even better. This manga will make you root for the weak villain against the impossible odds. It also helps that the heroes aren't very heroic. Tsugumi Project. The story begins in a militaristic Europe, where a country gathered a handful of prisoners for a secret mission with the promised reward of freedom. The mission is that they have to fly to what used to be Japan in search of a bioweapon, codenamed Tsugumi. The only thing we know about this weapon is that 2 centuries ago, the rest of the world decided to shower the entire country of Japan with nuclear bombs rather than seeing the project fully developed. And they only have 1 year to find it. We follow Leon, an ex-soldier. When the plane that was transporting the group crashes, Leon finds himself alone in the ruins of a Japanese city, with no food or water, and surrounded by monsters. Now he has to somehow survive for an entire year until the extraction plane comes, while also trying to find the Tsugumi Project so he can go back to his pregnant wife. So, will he succeed? Or will he become monster food? Next is Gachiakuta. If you haven't read this manga yet, what are you even doing? You know what? Stop the video right now and go watch it. Now. Go. Shoo. Why are you still here? You want me to sell it to you? Fine, I guess I'll do my job. Once upon a time, there was a town. That town was split in two. The clean side, where everything is clean and sophisticated, and the filthy side where everything and everyone is treated like, well, trash. Our protagonist is Rudo. He's from the bad side. He likes to sneak into the town to scavenge for trash.
Freeze, motherfucker! I said freeze!
Then he fixes what he can salvage and sells it. Life for Rudo wasn't easy. His parents were murderers that were thrown into the abyss, and the only thing he got from them, other than the bad reputation, was his black hands. Hands as black as coal. But now he has a family and a girl he likes, so for what it's worth, he's happy. You must be wondering what was this abyss I mentioned. No, not that one. That one is mine. It's a giant dark hole on the edge of the slums where criminals are thrown. Anyway, back to the story. Like I said, Rudo is happy with his simple life. But this is the beginning of the manga. We can't have the MC be happy just yet. That won't do. That won't do at all. So his only family gets killed. He's blamed for his murder. His crush abandons him, and he is about to be thrown into the abyss. Put this all together and what do you get?
What do you get? What do you get?
That's right. An unbendable will for revenge fueled by rage. The art style is stunning, so check it out. Or wait for more chapters. Next is OTTOMAN. This manga is so damn good. Now this is what I call a manga. This is the protagonist, Soya. He's the newest addition to the Waifu Protecting Club. After almost dying, he is saved by an alien parasite that latches to him because of his positive energy. This gives him powers to fight cannibalistic monsters. And that power is fueled by nothing other than his love for his wife. If you thought that some kid using an OP weapon and screaming about his nakama is the power of love, then you haven't seen shit, boy. Prepare to feast your eyes on the pure, unadulterated, and unhinged raw power of love! Soya is married to Yuka. And Yuka is in fact the perfect waifu. She's cute, supportive, loving, can kick ass, and a literal wife. Boys, get yourself a woman like Yuka. She kinda reminds me of Miyako from Majikoi.
That's right, boys. Get yourself a woman from a broken heart.
Hush now, child. No longer will you be hurt by your own words. But seriously, the art and fights are sick. And the wife isn't just a pretty face. She plays a big role in moving the events of the manga. This manga is just pure fun. Ayashimon. This manga is made by the same author of Jikokoraku, so you know this one is a banger. This is Maruo Kaido. When he was a kid, he was a big fan of manga protagonists, like Kenshiro, Jotaro, Goku, and the gang. He really wanted to be like them, so he trained to become a manga protagonist that will enjoy lots of thrilling battles. And his dream came true. To an extent. He became strong, abnormally so, which made him hit the Saitama wall, meaning fights were not thrilling anymore. They all end quickly. Hell, he can't even get a normal job, because he destroys everything he touches. One day, while he is wallowing in his despair, he finds himself in the classic scenario of him seeing a little girl that is chased by a bunch of baddies, then he jumps in to beat them and runs away with the girl. The girl, her name is Urara, asks him to join her gang. Turns out the girl is a Yakuza, and the men after her are also Yakuza. So Maruo refuses. He's like, I'm desperate, not stupid. Well, he is stupid, just not that stupid. Well, anyway, the bad guys catch up to them and turns out they're not human. They're Ayashimon. Turns out the girl is a monster Yakuza, and the men after her are also monster Yakuza. At that moment, Maruo is hit by reality. These people are not human. Their powers are beyond reason. Which means he can finally fight to his heart's content, baby! So he joins the girls' gang, and together they set out to take over the underworld. Next is DoronDororon. Yup, that's the name alright. 50 years ago, strange monsters called Mononoke began appearing and attacking humans. In order to combat them, the humans made special units of trained warriors called the samurai. Our hero is Sasaki Dora. No, that's the wrong Dora. There we go. Dora wants to be a samurai for two reasons. He wants to make his mother proud, and he hates the Mononoke for killing his mother. Dora is strong and very good at fighting. He gets into trouble a lot, but he somehow managed to graduate high school, thus fulfilling his promise to his mom. Now all that's left is to pass the samurai exam and kick some Mononoke butt. Psh, yeah, right. Come on, this is a shonen manga, so you know the poor guy ain't passing shite. Apparently you need more than physical strength to kill Mononoke. Who would have thunk? In order for a person to kill a Mononoke, they need a certain amount of supernatural energy. And lo and behold, Dora has none. So while he was thinking what to do next, he sees a child that is running away from a Mononoke. Dora bolts to her rescue, the girl gets away, and Dora stays to check on the person who saved the girl. Turns out it was a good Mononoke that was fighting a bad Mononoke. One thing leads to another, and Dora finally manages to kill the bad Mononoke with the help of the other one called Kusanagi, who turned into a weapon for Dora to use. So these two set out to clean the world of bad Mononoke. Kusanagi provides the supernatural energy necessary to kill Mononoke, and Dora provides the physical strength necessary to wield said energy. It's fighting fire with fire at its finest.
I used Mononoke to destroy the Mononoke.
Just a fair warning, this is a born and bred shonen, so if you don't like shonen, then this may not be for you. Battle of the Six Realms. The story is set in a world where humanity made the Earth's surface too polluted to be lived on, which forced them to escape underground. Science advanced and body modifications became a thing. And since humanity is basically living in a giant hole, there wasn't much entertainment. Thus began the tournament called Battle of the Six Realms, where people with body modifications fight to the death in a tournament for wealth and glory. Our MC is a boy named N. He's from the slums. He spends his days scavenging the remains of the tournament losers who sell their parts, in hopes to one day get his own modifications and get out that trash hole. But for now, all he can do is gaze at a world he can't reach. If I had a coin for every trash scavenging protagonist in this video, I'd have two, which isn't a lot, but it's still strange that it happened twice. One day he discovers he already has modifications, and with the help of the current champion that took an interest in N, he sets off to conquer the Battle of the Six Realms. We all love a good hype fest of a battle manga, and this one is a damn good one. It has some sick character designs and a lot of fun characters. Like Joe. I swear, if anything happens to Joe, I'm gonna Earthchild. So, I know I'm supposed to tell you guys about the manga story, but I don't want to do that with this one. Because I want you guys to experience the roller coaster that is chapter 1. The story is about a regular guy who falls in love with a superhero. That's all you need to know. This manga is so damn good. It's emotional, wholesome, hype, funny. It's gold. Also, don't mind me. I'm just gonna put this here. Perfect. Gigantis. It's a manga from the same author of Terraformers. If you don't know or remember what Terraformers is, it's a manga about humans fighting chat cockroaches in Mars using the powers of insects. So, do I even need to sell you on this manga? The story begins at the island of Tsushima, where our protagonist Gen lives with his mother and sick sister. Would you look at that? Another orphan. Let's go! No father's gang! Anyway, when Gen is in school, he noticed that the crazy cat lady was inside the school, and she was acting a little too crazy. But I'm sure it's fine. Oh god, what the is that? It looks like if had sex with a or in turn was his mother. Well, it turns out she's a monster, and she starts eating people left and right. The students run away, and Gen, scared shitless, runs to his home in fear that something has happened to his family. And sadly, his fear was true, cause his mother is no more. Let's go! No parents gang! But luckily, his sister is still fine, so he takes her and runs. They soon find that the island is infested with monsters. From there, it's what you expect. Monster hunt human, monster eat human. Monster become big. Human try to run, but too many monster. Army shooty bang bang. Monster don't give a fuck. The army saves who they can and escape, leaving a lot of people, including Gen, behind. They somehow survive for a few months before Gen is catfished so hard he almost dies. He falls in the ocean and wakes up in a hospital in Fukuoka Prefecture, but he has no time to rest, because his sister is still unknown in Tsushima, in an island full of monsters. On the other side of the globe, scientists develop a way to combat the monsters, which is by injecting special people with the monster cells, which makes them gigantify, hence the title of the manga. You can piece the rest together. It's time for Big Brother
to fulfill his duty.
The manga is still in its early chapters, so expect a lot of kaiju battles. Also, for some reason the manga makes a point that the biggest difference between the monsters and other creatures is symmetry. Which is stupid. Yeah, when I'm face to face with a 2-meter monstrosity that looks like a Play-Doh orgy gone wrong, the first thing that comes to mind is, you're not very symmetrical, are you? Hell, off the top of my head I can think of a few creatures that are not symmetrical. Fiddler crabs being one of them. Look at his tiny claw, it's adorable. The last one, and most definitely not the least, is the Kajiki Chef. In a nutshell, it's about hunting giant beasts and cooking them. If you're not sold on it just from this, I have nothing more to say to you. Have you ever seen a kid turn a giant flying... Fuck. Have you ever seen a kid turn a giant flying fuck? Have you ever seen a kid turn a giant flying shark into a fish fillet? Well, now you will. In this manga's world, there are giant creatures called the Kaijin. Toya is our protagonist. He loves to cook more than anything. He's friends with the princess of the island, Iza. She's so precious. One day, when Toya was cleaning the knives from his family's restaurant, he and Iza are attacked by a Kaijin. And that resulted in Iza losing her arm. In order to save Iza, Toya used the power of a Tsukumogami knife. Tsukumogami means an object that gains sentience after a long time. A lot of manga have it. Anyway, using his level 99 kitchen knife, Toya makes short work of that overgrown fish. And since kaijin meat has supernatural healing properties, he makes a meal of that shark and feeds it to Isa, thus healing her wound and saving her life. But her arm is still gone. So Toya starts hunting and cooking every kind of kaijin in hopes to find the one that can bring her arm back. The art style is sick, and the fights are sicker, and the food is just I'm not a foodie, but damn does a giant octopus Kajiki tempura udon look good right now. And that's all for today. Sorry for the late update, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay safe out there. See ya. What are you still doing here? Well, since you're here, what kind of a host would I be if I let my guests go empty-handed? So here, for the road. Off you go now, and go tell your mom you love her.